Hi there, and we're continuing this week in our little mini series on the unfathomable mysteries of God. We explored the mystery of Christ and the mystery of the church last week, and I've titled this week's talk, We Can't Schedule God, as we look into the subject of the mystery of God's will. One of the most profound and mysterious subjects in the Christian life is this, the will of God. Ecclesiastes talks of the mystery at work in all that God does. And Romans asks, who has known the mind of God? Job said, he's famous for great and unexpected acts. There's no end to his surprises. And quietly but surely, he's active, and I miss it. It's important to remind ourselves as we start that often the will of God is plain and clear for us in his words. However, sometimes we face life in a quandary, such as the current circumstances of living in a worldwide pandemic. Disturbing questions outnumber absolute clear answers. And even though we love God, obey his word and seek his will, we simply can't figure out what God is up to. However, as we seriously look into the will of God, we go from an unconscious to a conscious awareness of how sometimes, mysteriously, he leads us along. C.S. Lewis said, the best is perhaps what we understand the least. Ecclesiastes and John 3, the attributes of the wind are used as analogy for the workings of the Spirit of God. We're told it blows where it wills, sovereignly, in other words. We hear its sound, but cannot see it. It's invisible and secret. We can't tell from where it comes or where it will go. There's mystery. He comes to whom he wills, when he wills, and where he wills. We need to keep in mind when God surprises us by maybe answering our prayers in ways we didn't expect, that he's giving us a greater opportunity to trust him and thus develop a deeper and richer relationship with him. Somebody described them as stepping stones to an even greater confidence and trust. Because God's plans aren't predictable, it doesn't mean we shouldn't trust in them. Jesus said at his ascension to the disciples in response to a question of when, it's not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set by his own authority. As the Message translates it, timing is the Father's business. We can't schedule God. I love Nicky Gumbel's statement, resign as MD of the universe. Stop trying to control everyone and everything. The amazing thing is, in the midst of disappointment, surprise, and mystery, we will discover how totally reliable and trustworthy God is, and how secure we are in his hands. I love Deuteronomy 32, and it says, a God you can depend upon, no exceptions. Let's avoid being influenced by a culture of individualism, relativism, rights, spin, fake news. It is God who has preserved truth in his word, is sovereign, answers and assures us of his love, and has the right to do as he wishes around us, to us, and in us. Puzzling as the process may be to us, he stays with his plan. There is no need for us to know all the reasons. Someone has said, a sound we will hear from every throat when we get to heaven is, ah, now I see it. Now I realize why. Now it all makes sense. We move from every restricted realm to this wonderful, massive panorama of the whole scene. And it will be good. It will have worked together for good, including the tragedies, calamities, and heartaches. All will unfold, and we will see that God's plan was right. Have a good week, and next week I'm going to continue by talking on an Advent theme about the unfathomable mysteries.